Hey, what is up, mortals? It is TheLuckyDerp here, and before we get into today's video, there's something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time, so if you're interested, go to the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if you didn't know, only 25% of you guys are subscribed to us, so please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the video. In this deep dive, we'll be going over the sacred treasures from the 7 deadly sins. The history of the sacred treasures doesn't have much information, but what is known is that when King Bartolomeusz formed the 7 deadly sins, he entrusted these weapons to them. 10 years before the start of the series, the group's betrayal resulted in the loss of some of the weapons. A sacred treasure is a weapon that allows the user to pull their power to their full potential. They made the 7 deadly sins the most formidable group of knights, surpassing even the holy knights. Because of the nature of their group, the weapons can only be used by the sins. If the command Sacred Treasure Release is spoken, the weapons will increase their power to a higher level. We will now be going over each individual sacred treasure. The first sacred treasure seen is the Spirit Spear Chastiful, which belongs to Grizzly Sin of Sloth King. It is a holy weapon that was crafted from the sacred tree in the fairy realm. Its main ability is that it can levitate and change form at will. It has 10 different forms, but mainly appears as the spotted green pillow carried around by King. When he enters combat, the weapon transforms into a long spear, along with its regular combat form. Each form has a true form that is more powerful. Each form is unique in what battle techniques it allows King to use, which also changes depending on its true or new true form is activated. When it is not in battle, it appears as a pillow and can be used as a shield. The first battle form is Chastiful, which is what King defaults in battle. It is the long, broad spear that works for ranged attacks. Pairing well with his levitation ability, it has a homing ability, following an enemy who is trying to dodge attacks and eventually cornering them. Its second technique is Bumblebee, which King controls with his levitation ability, and launches multiple attacks that come at its enemy from every angle. The true form of Chastiful becomes even larger, dwarfing King in comparison, and adds 2 new techniques. Tyrant Tempest is a powerful spinning attack that can take down many Albions in an instant, and Sabaki no Wari is an aerial attack thrown at the enemy. The new true spirit form is even more powerful and makes the spear even bigger, adding the floral design to it. The blade now sits inside of a giant flower. The second form is Guardian, which takes on the appearance of a large teddy bear by shapeshifting the moss that grows in its body. The moss for this form can parry any physical attack, but King can also directly control it to fight or use its 4 arms to immobilize the enemy. Since the moss is damp, it is resistant to fire, but it is also weak to cold and freezing attacks. It also makes a good defense against blunt attacks due to how soft it is. The true form makes the teddy bear appear muscular and strengthens the attacks. The new true form adds on multiple arms to the bear and is even stronger than the second form. The third form is Fossilization, turning the spear into a twin head with the spearhead in the shape of a crab's claw. The weapon can penetrate any enemy it pierces, turning them into a statue. Unable to move, even if they're still alive, Fossilization has no true or new true forms. The fourth form is Sunflower, which, as the name implies, is a gigantic flower that bursts up from the ground and shoots several destructive projectiles at the enemy. The true form makes the flower even bigger and adds sharp teeth to its mouth in the center. Before launching an attack, it charges up power to be even more damaging. The new true form increases the size and power even more, and adds bulk to the flower, along with a spiky stem. The fifth form is called Increase, which creates many small kunai-esque spears that King can control by his hand movements. A technique Increase possess is Fight Fire with Fire, which pulls all of the blades into an attack that strikes down into the enemy. The true form of Increase makes the small kunai blades into large blades. The new true form turns the blades into double-edged, with more speed and power. The sixth form, Yggdra Cloth, is only available starting at its true form. The weapon wraps itself around King's body and creates armor for him, with large gauntlets and blades on the forearms. Luminosity is the seventh form, a luminescent ringed sphere that lights up the surrounding area, allowing the user to see in the dark. The eighth and final form is Pollen Garden. This forms a large barrier around a person and protects them from powerful attacks. The pollen barrier comes from the sacred tree, which has the capability of healing and subsiding pain. The new true form increases the size and has an egg-shaped pattern on it. A large size can protect multiple people from attacks, including a giant. In addition to techniques from the treasure, King can use combination attacks with others while fighting with Diane. They can use cross shooting, which has her using a rock barrier on the enemy, while King pierce attacks with Chastiful. In Chastiful's true form, he can use Celestial Arrow, which uses the spear as an arrow, and Twin Bow Herit as the bow. The 6th form Yggdra cloth can be used for Trinity attack, high tension rush, pairing it with Gother's illusion confusing the enemy, and Diane's droll dance, increasing her power level. Finally, Pollen Garden can be used with a combination attack, Triple Prison, combining it with Merlin's perfect cube and Elizabeth's arc to contain the opponent. The second sacred treasure is the Serpent's Sin of Envy, Diane's Warhammer Gideon. 10 years after the 7 deadly sins ended, Diane lost her treasure, and as of right now, it is unknown why or how she lost it. It reappeared in a valley, and Diane later recovered it after winning it back at the Vival Fight Festival. The full power of Gideon was seen when the Holy Knights attacked the deadly sins. Diane was shrunken by Marmaris, and after returning to normal size, she retaliated. The immense power caused Hilbram and his subordinates to retreat and destroy Vival as a result. Gideon appears as an enormous warhammer, built for a giant. Its size is as tall as Diane, and its head consists of a hammerhead on one side and a war pick on the other side. The bottom of the hilt also has a pommel. Diane's power is drawn out by using her weapon and allows her to manipulate the earth. The first time it is seen being used, Diane destroyed the surrounding area, and the event sent a huge boulder into the sky. Gideon allows Diane to use the ability Lightning Rod, which absorbs magical attacks into the warhammer and redirects them into the ground, nullifying their effect. The third sacred treasure is the twin bow Herod, which belongs to the goat sin of lust, Gother. This weapon appears at his will and consists of 2 bows made of glowing purple energy. Since they are not conventional bows, they are magically drawn to be shot in quick succession. Using Herod, Gother can utilize his ability Invasion to the max. It greatly increases the range of his attacks. During the 7 deadly sins infiltration of the kingdom, he rewrites the memories of several holy knights. When Gother confronted Diane, summoning Herod caused anyone with a spirit level of under 400 and within a 3-mile radius to become unconscious. Herod has 2 additional abilities. Judao Subi mode lets Gother automatically lock onto an enemy when he forms a cross with his hands on the bow. Tokusei Hani Kakudai allows him to extend the range of his magical attacks. The 4th sacred treasure is the demon sword Lot's Vein, belonging to Meliodas, the dragon sin of wrath. Lot's Vein was originally entrusted to Meliodas by King Barta, but was sold 10 years before the start of the series when he needed money to open his bar, the Borhat. After being sold for 1,000 gold pieces, the treasure made its way to a pawn shop in Camelot, where it was purchased by Merlin. She later returned it to Meliodas during the attack of Camelot by Albion, when his current sword broke while trying to save Arthur from a giant monster. Lot's Vein was a short sword with a curved blade. There are 5 holes down the middle of the blade, and 5 half-moon holes on the other side of it. The blade is split into 2 colors, the sharper side being silver and the other side is dark green. The hilt is adorned with a dragon tattoo emblem. When assault mode is used, the blade turns completely red. When Meliodas gives the command, Sacred Treasure Activate, he can use Lot's Vein ability. Jitsuzo Bushin allows him to create up to 4 clones of himself, although in the movie he created 6 clones of himself. The 5th sacred treasure is Boar Sins of Gluttony, Merlin's Morning Star Alden. It is a small purple crystal ball that appears in Merlin's hand and floats around her palm when summoned. Merlin can use Alden in conjunction with her telekinesis, and it can display any location she wishes to look at. Merlin can channel many of her spells in it, such as Exterminate Ray. She can also transfer her soul into Alden when she needs to dodge, status alignments, and serious physical damage. As of right now, there is not much information available on Alden. The 6th sacred treasure is Divine Axe Rita. It belonged to the Lion Sin of Pride, Escanor. It is first seen when Galad of the 10 Commandments is struggling to wield the axe, kept at Escanor's bar. The day form of Escanor takes the axe away, saying that the demons who writhe in the darkness are unworthy of touching Rita. He also informs them that Rita is a battle axe loved by the sun itself, and was crowned with a young maiden's name. Despite its size and enormous weight, it is an ornamental one-handed axe, with a crescent moon-shaped blade. The blade has 2 golden spikes with the white tips on the opposite sides of it, and on top of that, the handle is dark blue, with 4 spikes similar to brass knuckles as a handguard. Because the weight is mostly in the head, it is off balance and makes it hard to wield. When Escanor says Sacred Treasure Release, he can release all of the power stored in the weapon in an instant. The release of power looks similar to the sun, as it bursts out a huge wave of light and heat, which can even light up the night sky. If its stored power is high enough, Escanor can stay in his daytime form at night. When the weapon is not with him, Escanor can call it to him, and it will reach incredible speeds to come to him. Charge and Fire is Rita's special ability, which absorbs and stores the huge amount of heat Escanor releases during the day. This ability shows him to release the heat on command and use it precisely rather than burning away everything in the near vicinity. Although Escanor implies that there is a limit to the heat and amount of power that Rita can absorb from him, and might be unable to contain his power as noon arrives. Because of this, he will stay away from people and any civilization as the sun grows higher. The seventh sacred treasure is the holy staff Korkos, which belonged to the fox sin of greed, Bon. When Bon was taken by the Weird Fangs 10 years before the start of the series, Korkos was stolen from him and missing in action. During the battle against Idra, it is revealed that Merlin has gained possession of the staff and returns it to Bon. It has the appearance of an ornate 4-section staff with spikes on either end. The sacred treasure can draw out Bon's full power when used. It can be used to attack enemies from any angle, due to it carrying the ability to lengthen and distort its chain angles. It is seen promoting extreme speed and strength when Bon defeated thousands of Indra babies in an instant from a far distance, and only missed one. When Bon says Sacred Treasure Release, it can use the ability Super Concentration, which raises his physical and mental capabilities to their maximum level. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, if you're into the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials got you covered. Our We the Celestials My Hero Academia and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, then I'd like to extend you an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being that we only accept members from 16 years and up to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have a great day.